Wow, thank you for the opportunity. As you were talking, I was thinking about having heard you say in the past, sometimes when you want something and it's not coming, that either you're not a match to it or you need to change your thoughts about it, I guess. I'm trying to remember what the rest of that was. I'm a little nervous, sorry.
Let us clarify that just a little bit, because we don't want to give you the impression that you want something and Source is saying, oh no, that's not good for you, so you can't have it. Because it isn't like that at all. But what we mean is, over time, you've put lots of components into this vibrational reality. In other words, there are so many pieces of things that are important to you that are there. And we called it a vortex. We wrote a book about it, wanting to help you feel it as the real thing that it is, even though your physical senses can't yet see it, or hear it, or smell it, or taste it, or touch it. It still exists. So we're wanting you to follow along in this process of how thoughts do turn to things, how your desires do become manifested relationships and manifested material objects and manifested states of being. And so when someone's rude to you, you want them to be nicer, and when you don't have enough money, you want more money, and so on. In other words, when you know what you don't want, you know what you do want, and you put all of these components over time, and a lot of them even there before you came into this body, into this vortex. And it is a magnificent culmination of all that life has caused you to desire. And it is accurate to say what life has already caused you to become. But it's a really rare one of you who could define or describe with very much detail or accuracy what is in that vortex for these reasons. First of all, you put it there incrementally. So you were kind of single-sided. In other words, you didn't like that person being rude to you, but you weren't thinking about the whole of humanity. And yet, when you put it in there, the whole of humanity is considered. You see what we're getting at? And over all the times that you put things like that in it, you kept refining it until who you really are and what you really want is indescribable to you, because, not only because you've put it in over a long period of time, but because it has been being tended to by your inner being. It has been growing because of law of attraction. So it's more than you would recognize by its individual pieces. Its sum total is more than its individual parts, in the sense that you might remember the individual parts, but you can't really realize what it's all come to. An example would be Esther, when she was playing with Jerry, and they realized that Abraham was flowing to them, made him promise not to tell anyone, because she didn't want to ever do this. She didn't want to be the weird one who hears voices. She did not want that. But so much about what she did want. She was born to be an uplifter. She cares about people understanding. She likes people knowing. She's a process-oriented person. She likes having a formula that works for her. And so little did Esther know what was in her vortex and what was becoming. It was through the path of least resistance that she discovered it and accepted it one piece at a time. So what we really want to say to you is that who you are and what you want is always much bigger than this specific thing that you think you want right here and now. You might think that you want this job, that your life depends on it because you're out of money and this job matters so much, when through all the jobs that you've been working, you've been asking to be in a considerate environment. You've been asking to be respected, and you've been asking to make plenty of money, and you've been asking for it to be an environment where you could grow. You've been asking for it to be something where you could be nurturing to others and others could be nurturing to you. You have been asking for it to be something that was open-ended, where you could continue to expand. And so what we mean is that this job that isn't unfolding for you may not be all of this. It might be your last-ditch effort not to lose your house. But it's not the job that you've been asking for with all that you've been putting into it. That's what we were getting at. So we really want to say that if you've got negative emotion going on about something, if you feel reservations about something, it means 100% of the time that the way you're looking at it is not the way your inner being is looking at it. It doesn't necessarily mean this isn't the job for you, but it does mean your point of view right here and now does not jive with what your infinite intelligence is thinking about the same subject at the same moment that the emotion is present.